Hi everyone, so this is what I'll be making today. Namoora, or as the Egyptian call it Basboosa. Anyway, follow the steps. It looks very good and it tastes very good. Recipe calls for 1 cup of sugar, and it calls for semolina. This is fine semolina. There's 2 kinds, the fine one and the coarse one. I'm gonna use 1 cup of the fine semolina. Okay, that makes 1 cup. And now I'm gonna use 3 cups of the coarse semolina. It's thicker in texture. We're gonna need 3 cups of that. One, two, oops, a little bit. Okay. For this recipe, I'm gonna use a mug to measure everything. It's the best way. It's better than using regular measuring cup. I'm gonna use a mug for everything. This is the rule of thumb for that. To that, I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Mix them up a little. Okay. I'm gonna add also 1 cup of plain yogurt. I do make my own, but you could any store-bought plain yogurt will do. A full cup like this. I'm adding the yogurt. And then I'm gonna add 1 cup of oil, vegetable oil, or I like to use canola oil, any kind of on top. And to that I'm gonna add a little bit of rose water. I'd say about 2 tablespoons. Yeah, it's about 2 tablespoons. And then I'm gonna mix that, bring it all together. So again, just to make sure everybody got the right measurements, we have 3 cups of coarse semolina or smeed. We have 1 cup of fine semolina, أو طحين فرخة, 1 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 cup of oil, and 1 cup of yogurt. And this is the consistency that we should get. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. You want to scrape the bottom of the bowl. Make sure you got every little thing and you mixed it all together. So this is the consistency again. Now I'm making the syrup that we're gonna need for the namoora. I have 3 cups of sugar in there, and we need 4 cups total. 4 cups of sugar. To that I'm gonna add 2 cups of water. 1, 2. I'm gonna put it on the stove to boil. I'll add a little lemon. I'll show you later. I'm gonna get the pan ready. This is the pan that I'm gonna use. It's a standard cookie sheet. I'm gonna put some tahini at the bottom of the pan. You can use cooking spray, but it's better with the tahini. It stops it from sticking and gives it a nice crispy edge. Also, I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350 degrees. I'm gonna bring my mixture and pour it there. Make sure I got everything. I'm gonna spread it like this at first. Then I'll put some water on my hand and pat the whole thing down. And then just make sure it's flat with a spatula. I'm just gonna put a little bit of water on my clean hands and pat the spatula. What you could do to make things easier, you could like trace it a little. That way you could actually measure and you don't end up with a huge slice or a tiny slice. Every time if it's wrong, you could just smooth it out. I'm gonna decorate it with nuts, anything that I like. I like to use hazelnuts, almonds, cashews. You really can use anything you want, anything you like. This is my syrup. It's boiled, the water and the sugar. I'm gonna add, just see how small this lemon is? I cut it very small. Just like 1 tablespoon. See, that's more than enough. Now you can add rose water or orange blossom water to flavor the syrup. But what I like to use is this. It's otter or scented geranium, it's called in English. It gives it a very nice flavor. I have this plant in my house and I use it to flavor tea or milk or syrup. It gives it that extra flavor that I like, but you don't have to use this. You can use rose water as I said. I'm gonna add my 2 tablespoons of butter. What the butter will do is give it that shiny, crispy surface that Namoora is known to have. So the syrup is done now. Okay, 20 minutes later, you see the edges, how they're brown. So now I have to turn on broil. Again, it was 350 degrees. Now I'm turning on broil. It was boiling on low. It is done now. And it's all browned. Now I will add the syrup. I'll add the rest later after it has absorbed this. I'm gonna put it back in the oven. The turned off oven. The oven is turned off. I always make it a night before because it takes a long time to cool off. So make it a night in advance. And follow the lines that you've already sliced to cut it and serve it in square pieces. This is my finished product. It looks great and it tastes very good. Remember to add the syrup gradually until it absorbs. If the syrup boils around the edges while it's in the warm oven that you have turned off, it's normal. It will become puffier and bigger. That's normal too. And I used raw nuts, that way they cook nicely in the thing. Remember to like the video on YouTube and comment and enjoy. Bon appetit!